like, what you need a manager for? You
Right.
got Chat GPT. I'll
Right.
tell you exactly.
I think
That's half the battle.
I keep saying this every time I'm chopping game. We're in the 21st century, and niggas is still stuck on the 20th century. Okay, this is a fact. Spoon feed me. I listened to the John B. interview on the Breakfast Club. He goes, look at this. He kept saying, yeah, it was a cross-collaboration deal. Cross-collaboration deal. So, Charlamagne was like, you keep saying this cross-collaboration deal. What does that mean? He said, well, when I signed the Babyface and his wife's production company, everybody that they had signed, I had to pay all their money back out of my deal because I was the only one that got the deal. Wait a minute. So if it was $100,000 for you for rent for the whole year, yada yada, food, you, plus how much it costs for him to do his shit and his stifle, he had to pay all that shit back out of his shit. They said, that ain't right. He said, I know. My attorney said, wait a minute, you had an attorney? He said, yeah. He said, man, this is a bad deal. Okay. You still signed it. Like, what the fuck is that? What is that, dog? Like, that blew my mind. So
that don't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, the fame cannot be that more important than you working for free and getting used like a hoe, dog. They are literally fucking you, but you fucked yourself.
That I don't even make sense. Like, I understand when they sign a bunch of artists and
right.
you may have like 2 or 3 artists that's recouping
right
for everybody.
For everybody, budgets. Right. 2 or 3 artists.
Yeah.
Not 1.
2 or 3 artists, they're recouping, okay, you may have signed 20, but 15 of them
right.
was a dud.
Right. So it's a tax write-off anyway.
There you go. You got 1 or 2.
Right.
Man, you got your Drakes and your ones that's gonna sell.
Right. Because that's how the companies are built.
Yeah. So they gonna wedge their bets on this. This is gonna become a tax write-off. They hit you with the interest rate that we have to recoup.
Right.
But they had already recouped all the money. So right now you just house money.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. I ain't gonna take it. We finna jump into this right now,
I hope
man.
You was recording.
I'm recording already, but I want to kind of give it I got a little intro right now. All right, here it is. We got Cutta Classics, getting ready to interview Cutta Classics, dope ass producer. We're gonna go from the beginning of the origins. Like, how did you start, Cutta?
Oh man, which origins?
The origins of you producing.
Of producing.
Yes, sir.
So, man, I'll set it up like this. Me and my cousin from another mother, Young Star.
Okay.
And I take that back. Well, no, that's where it started. So, my cousin from another mother, Young Star, he had always been an artist. I was rapping at the time, being an artist, just elementary, middle school,
right.
watching BET every day, so now it's very inspirational. Back then, we watch all the videos, so we're recording, and so I got, like, you know how we do, Cap.
Right.
We got the Walkman. We set it up next to the speaker.
Right.
The boom box. Right. We got another one with the cassette tape, the cassette player,
right.
record with the music playing.
Making that home studio, right?
Man, so just that's where I would say it started from.
Okay.
And me saying, nah, you got to do that again.
Right.
We messed that up. So, I'm going to go spend $20, $30 on cassette tapes because we running through them, taking the piece of paper, putting it in the hole so we can re-record over it and all that. So, that's why I say it started. Well, I didn't even know I was producing. I was just trying to record what I wanted to hear.
Right.
And I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to be right.
Okay.
And fast forward from there, ended up getting my hands on some equipment. Cartswell 2000. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you that I got that in the back room.
Nice.
You see it, you'll be like, wow, this is ancient. So Cartswell 2000, and I started just putting together melodies and beats, just teaching myself on that, how to record, how to loop, how to quantize, and a lady by the name of Deborah McCleary showed up.
Deborah.
Mm-hmm.
Club 3000?
Club 2000.
2000, Club 2000?
The Fix.
Okay.
Yeah. So she showed up at my house, and she happened to walk into my room, and she was like, "Are you doing all that with that?" And I think I had a RY rhythm programmer beat machine.
Okay.
Yamaha RY rhythm programmer.
Right.
Maybe 10 sounds. And I had that midied up to the Cartswell 2000. She was like, "Wait a minute, you just did all that with this?"
Right.
She's like, "Pack all that up. We're going to the studio." And from there, I remember looking at my brother. I was like, "She for real?" He was like, "Yeah, pack your shit up so we can go." You know,
Right.
So pack it up. We jump in the car. Next thing you know, this is my first time walking in the Diamond recording studio.
Wow.
This is when it was at Trey's house.
Okay.
Oh, rewind. On the way, I believe we went to go pick up Larry Blackman from the airport. Because he was managing, him and Deborah was managing, I guess they had took over management for Infamous at the time.
Okay.
So we picked him up. We all at the studio
Right.
at Trey Burton's house at the time. That's when I first meet Fano. That's when I first meet Cutta.
Okay.
And so I'm just sitting in the corner and just kind of watching. And they told me to hit play. I hit play. And from there, I got to just sit in and just watch. And I started watching Cutta turn knobs and him recording into Digital Performer and all the sounds he had and all the analog boards they had. The Junos, the Jupiters, the Nord leads, what else? Prophet 5s, you know, all the mini moves. I'm looking at all these boards like, man, I got to get my hands on some of this equipment.
Right.
And I just remember then it was just like, yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing. And my first couple of sessions, you know, he made me pay for it.
Right.
I don't know you, little nigga.
Right.
But he made me pay for it, and then I guess he's seen how hungry I was. So at that point, he didn't let me come in the Diamond right away.
Right.
He set me up with a spot that was closer to where I was living at the time. Lowdown.
Okay.
Lowdown had his studio in his house. So I would ditch school and leave school and go over there, and Tech would lock me in the room for a weekend and say, read. He had like a few pieces of notebook paper with all the directions and instructions, like his own manual, his whole workflow. And he made me read front and back of those sheets of paper before I could ask him any questions, how to sequence in Digital Performer. And that's how I really got, that was like the first start. I was like, okay, now I'm really doing this.
That's crazy. Now what year was that you hooked up with Deborah?
Deborah, that was probably 99, 2000.
Listen, this is a crazy story. You ain't gonna believe this shit. I'm working at the airport, 1999. She comes and she drops off someone at the airport. She comes back out. And when she comes back out, she stops and she go, "What you do?" I said, "What do you mean, what do I do?" She's like, "What do you do?" She said, "Something about you. You do something. What do you do?" I said, "I do music. I'm a music producer." She was like, You lying. I said, nah. She said, you got something for me to listen to? I said, yeah. But it's off the airport site. Mm-hmm. She said, get in the car. She had that Jaguar, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. She had the Jaguar. So we jump in the car. We go get the tape. See, this is how long ago it is. She said, we go get the tape. We go get the tape, put it in the car. Boom. She was like, she played the first joint. She was like, okay. She played the second one. She was like, this you? I was like, yeah. She's like, hold up. Picks up the phone. Yo. It was Larry Blackman.
See, look at that.
This is crazy, dog.
You can't make that up,
You can't
bro.
make this up, dog. That is crazy, man. I had no idea that you had a connection with Deborah. Now, is she still around, or is she?
Yeah, she's still around. I seen Deborah it's probably been maybe about a year or two now.
Okay, she's in the city.
She in the city.
Oh wow.
She's in the city. I believe she's doing like marketing for one of the major hotels downtown.
Okay. She might be on Facebook, huh? I might look her up and just say hey to her.
Is.
Okay. Yeah, I might look her up. So now, would you consider yourself or say that you was an understudy of Keytech?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's how we always viewed you, as like, yo, that's how he got this, phenomenon wealth of information. Shouts out to Keytech, you know what I mean? Fucking genius when it comes and when it came to, doing this music shit, man. Definitely learned a lot of shit when we was living up in New York together, working on Daddy D / Nitro's project, right. Okay? So, are you originally from Oklahoma?
North Side, North Highlands.
North Highlands. Yep. Okay. So you went to Millwood?
No. Well, yeah, I did go to Millwood for about a semester.
Okay.
That didn't work out too well.
Okay.
But, graduated from Putnam City, though.
Okay, Putnam City. Okay, cool. All right, now, do you want to say how long would you consider yourself being in the game as what you would call like a legitimate producer?
23, maybe 24 years.
24 years. Wow. In that 24-year period, okay, what would be some of your highlights?
Probably when I met Polo. That would be a good highlight.
Nice.
Because Polo was probably one of the most talented lyricists that I heard here.
Okay. Shouts out to Polo.
That wasn't on TV. He wasn't, but he was right here that I could call.
Right.
And I remember my brother, he pulled up. Matter of fact, it was right after the show Deborah did at Washington Park, where she brought Young Bloods. I think it was Too Short. Yeah, and I remember Untapped.
Okay.
Untapped. They had opened up.
That's legit. Yeah. Shouts out to Legit.
Yeah, so Legit, Polo, believe Reno. I don't know. Was Mr. Kane over there? Was he?
He was with
Southern Life.
Southern Life.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's with Kurt Dog and all of them. Yeah.
So, man, I remember seeing him on stage, and I was like, this dude, energy, crazy.
Right.
Next thing I know, my brother had him in the car. He pulled up in my driveway, and I'm playing tracks, and I just remember hearing him, and I was just like, oh, this is different.
Right.
And so he also kind of took me under his wing to help develop his sound.
Okay.
So now I got a sounding board. Now I got a vessel.
Right.
To work with.
Right.
To develop my sound.
Exactly.
Now, while I am an understudy, while I am learning.
Right.
Now I can develop my sound. And And I think even before Polo, if we go back to Well Connected with my cousin Aunt Brown, aka Johnny, you know,
right.
when we had, he had his label, and we would all go up to the mixer shop, Magic Mixer Shop, and he had, you know, it was about 10 of us, and I don't know how he was managing all of us. We was crazy back then,
right?
But he was investing his money, and he was putting me around different people, different artists, taking me up to the mixer shop. We in there making mixtapes. You remember the mixer shop?
Oh yeah,
right there. And DJ Hill had his shop
DJ
right
Hill.
there on
Shouts
23rd.
out to DJ Hill.
And you know, we was just that's how we was getting down. We had to go hand-to-head combat, pull up. You making beats on the spot.
Right.
Remember going to Outlandish right there. That was off of 23rd and going towards Spencer.
Yeah. Kind of like
over there by
Bryant.
Deer.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Off of Bryant, somewhere around there.
So going in their studio, making beats on the spot, working with JK and all of them.
Nut P, all of them.
So
shout out to Nut P.
You had, you know, that you had to go pull up at other people's spots and really earn, you know, earn it, you know.
Right.
So you take all of that hustle, that grind, and then all these cats are hustlers and they're making money. So now that brings another. Then you start trying to learn the business of it.
Right.
So now I'm like, and Key-Tech, he was real big on the business.
Right.
And that was like one of the first things, you know, after I learned the workflow, he was like, all right, so this is what we're going to do. You're going to go to these websites. You're going to print this stuff off. And this is when dial-up. So you got to I was getting demo CDs of Yahoo.
Right.
You know,
was printing on phone books.
We running up in all kind of, you know, where they used to have the free CDs in the back.
Right.
So we go take them, we go steal the CDs so we had time to get on the internet.
Right.
Print these papers off. Had to fill out ASCAP paperwork. And this is 2000. I believe I did that 2004, 2003, 2004. And this is right as soon as I graduated. I'm graduating from high school, and so he like, all right. So now he stopped. So when he seen me really taking the hustle side serious, to where I was in school doing beat tapes for $30 for everybody at lunch.
Right.
About to get kicked out of school because they thought I'm in there selling dope.
Right.
It was like, hey man, you can't do this no more. So, which led to me having too many people at the house. Have a line of people on the stairway waiting on beat tapes. So once he seen that I'm taking the hustle seriously.
Right.
So now he's like, okay, now I gotta teach you the business. This is where, so that was my first introduction to the business, and started learning, you know, what paperwork we needed, how to register a song.
Right.
You know, and just the base. That's when I started learning the basic fundamentals of what you should know as a producer.
Right. What are some of your low points in your producer's career? Your 24 years of production. What would you consider like some of the low points of this game that we in?
Well, I guess I did kind of get off. We was talking about the high points.
No, you good.
I'll go right into the low points. And being impatient. Being impatient and being humbled to when you think you ready, and you think you ready to play pro ball, but you're not there yet. And so when you get in certain rooms and you really have to humble yourself.
Right.
Because sometimes people can tell you, hey man, everything is dope, everything is great, and you hear it so much. But until you get around people that really do this
right.
at a certain level, it'll humble you quickly.
Right, right.
And so that's, I guess, the initial, when you see that, so now you got to go back and start rethinking. So when you shopping beats,
right,
and everybody like, nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. So then sometimes it'll make you start questioning
right.
yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think I went through, I guess, every emotion as a young producer can have. You know, why is my stuff not sounding right? Or I don't have enough money to buy the right equipment. You know, I need to level up. You know, not being able to travel like you should. You know, knowing, and then. Just when you realize, we from Oklahoma,
right?
that's a mind fuck in itself,
right?
Because ain't nobody coming here to. So as a producer, you tell yourself, or just even as artists, I think there's a delusion when we think. For this market, I believe people thought this for a long time. Well, at least I did. Somebody's gonna come here, discover you,
scoop you up,
and then you're gonna blow up, and then you're gonna be able to go get on all these projects and all. You know, so starting off, because that's kind of what the deception that's put out there,
right?
That's how it works.
Right.
But if you don't know that until you get around people that's actually doing it, that's actually moving,
right?
And you say, "Oh."
Do you have a moment when that realization came to you? Like who was in the room at that particular time that you was like, "Oh shit, like I'm not quite ready." No one had to say that to you, but you said it to yourself like, oh shit, I thought I was, but I'm not. Do you have a moment like that?
I think the earliest one is when I was in Dallas. We was working in Dallas. I was with Cutta, and we was working with our guys 918.
Okay.
And I want to say Playing Skills was popping. Because they was doing all the production for Chameleon and Paul Wall.
Okay.
And I knew I had heat on me. So I'm just like, I'm going in, we hit and play, and then they're like, man, so I'm reading the energy of the room, and everybody like, yeah, he dope. When Playing Skills hit play though, it was like, oh, you ain't mixed your beats right.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just when you hear quality,
right,
on a certain level,
right.
That was like a moment, and it wasn't like a low point, but it was like a moment. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I ain't there yet.
Right. You realize in yourself that, hey, this is things that I have not reached yet.
Yeah.
But long as you was in this one pond, you was the big fish.
Yeah.
And there was nobody to compare you to, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, growing pains.
Yeah, it's growing pains. And then you couple that with, now I'm buying music. Now I'm listening to music differently.
Right. Right.
Now I'm really breaking down the science on what it sounds like. Even now, I'll listen to a Dr. Dre mix and be like, man, how the hell did you do that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right.
it's like,
right.
Then it seemed like the goalposts. I guess for me, I was always moving the goalposts.
Okay.
Further.
Right.
So it always gave me something to
aspire to.
There you go.
Okay. I got you.
But yeah, I think that was a moment. I think it's lots of moments.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have them all in our whole career. We keep having these moments and go, oh, it's an aha moment type situation, right? And you be like, yeah. But then you also get the flip side of that too. When you go someplace and they play their shit and your shit is way more superior than their shit, right? And then they look at you and be like, God damn, like, you from Oklahoma? You get that?
That's the rewarding part.
Yeah.
That's the
that's the cherry on the top right there.
Like, yeah.
I'm doing something right?
I knew I knew something right. I knew I was doing something right.
Right.
Like, just even recently, now that I've been mixing a lot.
Okay.
And I remember when Tech, I did a record for Cutta.
Okay.
And he was going by, he was Chief then, but I did a record for him.
Shouts out to Cutta.
And I would just produce it, and I would always give everything to Tech to mix. At this time, Tech was running 2-3 record labels.
Right.
By herself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and running the studio.
Right.
And he's like, you got to mix it. I ain't got time to mix it. I'm thinking like, what you mean I got to mix it? That ain't what I do.
Right.
I get the record done. I produce the track. He's like, no, you got to mix it today.
Right.
So that was like the first mix I did.
Okay.
And I remember I was on some old Chinelec. I don't even remember which ones they were, but I know they were Chinelecs. And it was some old, for loudspeakers, it was some old club garage speakers I mixed that record on.
Right.
Had no idea what I was doing. I was just, I used plugins I seen Tech use and just tweaked them to my liking.
Right.
That was the first mix I did.
Okay.
So, and from then I started enjoy. You had to. I really enjoy mixing records. I had to learn to love mixing records.
Okay. Right.
And then, so then you get good at it. And so everybody's saying, "Can you mix my song? Can you mix my song?" And then I come across a guy named Jason Joshua. And then he'd be like, then I get to see how he works and his workflow, and I'm listening to his music, and it's like, man, he got all these plaques, he got all these number ones,
right?
And you like, there's that moment again. I ain't there yet.
Right. You needed to grow. Yeah, you needed to grow a little bit more.
So that's another. And so now, after doing, study, so now I dove very heavily into studying mix and mastering engineers outside of producers. Right. Because I got to a point to where I've made so many beats, man. Right. I feel like some of the stuff that people making nowadays, I was making that. Right. I was making the same.
Right. Back then.
Beats back in the early 2000s.
It came full circle.
And I'm like, sometimes it's not as fun for me anymore,
Right. It's a job.
It becomes a job. So now I got to find something else that's going to challenge me. Right. I've been through the stages where I was making 5-6 beats a day, doing a beat every 20 minutes, right. Not just running, gunning. That's cool, but then I started realizing that I wasn't getting any enjoyment out of that. Right. Right. So that's when I really dove into like mixing. And so having that moment once I was able to study like Dave Pensado.
Yeah, I just for the name of him, just for the same.
Yeah, Joseph, what's homeboy name? Joseph Puig, your Maseratis, your right. Jason Joshuas, and then
your Mike Deans.
Mike Deans. Yeah. I remember Nitro took me to my first major mix session. We did when I did a record for him, and we went to go see John Fry. That's the first time I walked in the Stank On Your studio.
Oh, okay. Atlanta.
That's when I went to Atlanta. Killer Mike was just finishing up his session. And I walk in, John Fry, he's been mixing a lot of Lil Jon and East Side Boys records.
Right.
And now he's about to mix this record.
Okay.
And just watching, I'm like, when you see there's another level to this, man,
right.
These people, they put in time and effort. That's why, it's like, you're not there yet, but you're close.
You're headed that way.
Yeah, so,
right.
And now I get the same thing. It's like, now when I'm doing it and people come and they like, whoa, how'd you get that to sound like that? And these are cats that's been mixing records for everybody.
Right.
Right. And producers coming in like, hey man, I just want you to mix my tracks. So then that's when I say that's the rewarding part, because now it's like, okay. So now I'm kind of like in the phase, what's next?
Right.
Where I'm at a point to where I enjoy doing both things again. I enjoy making the beats now and producing records, because not only do I get to produce it, I can go mix it and then at least have it set, even if I want to send it to somebody else to finish for me.
Right. It'll be right there at that level.
It'll be like, man, I really don't have to do nothing.
Right.
I'm like, that's fine if you don't, but
right.
if you do,
that's cool. It's ready.
Yeah. So
it's ready.
But yeah, man, you get highs and lows and all of that.
Right. Engineering, producing, and beat maker. Now, would you consider yourself an all-in-one? Because you have cats that just do beats.
Right.
Then you have cats that produce, which is producing the song from the beginning to the end.
Right.
Then you just have engineers who don't produce, who don't make beats.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in Oklahoma, I think we had to be all in. Mm-hmm. You had to be the engineer, you had to be the producer, and you had to be the beat maker.
Right.
So, do you consider yourself all three of those, or do you just look at or focus on one particular entity?
No, I look at it as all three. And
okay.
What I like to call somebody that's all three is a super producer.
Oh, nice.
So, that's how I look at it.
Okay. Who's some of your favorite super producers?
I was thinking about this question.
I'm gonna ask you.
I was thinking about this.
I'm gonna ask.
Because sometimes it changes.
Right. But
changes.
you still have your core.
So I think the core is Dr. Dre, Timbaland.
Ooh, nice.
Battle Cat.
Ooh, nice.
Quick.
Yes.
Manny Fresh.
Ooh, nice.
And I would lean heavy. I guess I would say Kanye.
Okay.
I would say Kanye. But easily, I could put a Just Blaze in there. I could put Jermaine Dupri in there.
Right.
But
now, are the ones that you name, would you say they kind of reflect your production style?
Those are the ones I study the most.
Okay. So do you have a sound?
Yeah, I mean it does reflect my sound.
Right.
But I would say those are ones I really
studied.
Just really went in and dissected and studied
right.
and just really asked all the questions for myself.
Right.
That's kind of that's what I enjoyed listening to.
Right.
To help me hone my sound, to help me, just hone my craft. So.
Right. I'm gonna throw a curveball right here.
Okay.
Now, I'm definitely a Dre study myself. Out of all of his solo albums, What is your favorite album or song to reference your tracks to see if your mix is kind of standing up to that?
It used to be, and there's so many Dre did, but I would say it used to be probably Next Episode.
Okay, that's from the second
Chronic 2000.
Chronic 2000.
That's the one I studied the most.
Listen, you are correct, sir. You are correct because, not to cut you off, but of course we know the Chronic, okay, which was an amazing album.
Right.
Okay? But he really got into his shit, man, on the Chronic 2000, man. That motherfucking Things Have Changed. What's that one?
Man.
Everywhere that I go. That motherfucking song, ooh, that motherfucker is mixed to perfection,
that
man.
album, man.
It's dope.
When it came on,
Right.
it was like, oh, it's a movie on wax.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how I felt it was mixed.
Right.
And then you couple that with the stuff he was doing with M. That's them first couple albums he did with M.
Right.
Before M started
Right.
taking over and the ones that Dre.
Hell, the first 50 Cent album.
Yeah, I was about to say, Get Rich Doctrine.
Yeah.
Man, come on.
But then he became a billionaire. Okay. And when you listen to the Compton album, we used to have a term, it's too clean. Okay? And I think what we're really saying that there was no bottom in the Compton album compared to the previous works of Dre. In my opinion. When you listen to it, sonically, it's there. But it's so fucking crisp.
I think I really enjoyed the Compton album.
Okay.
I could see where you could feel that way.
Right. Like it took the hood out of it.
It was very polished.
Yeah. Super
very
polished. Yeah.
But it was a lot to learn from. If you dissect it, it was a lot to learn from that Compton project.
Okay. Which is dope. Which was a dope project, man. Come on.
I would say even, I noticed with Dre, it's a scene. It's not just a song.
Right.
There's it's its own piece of art. It's a own
standalone.
It's a standalone.
Right.
It's a short movie. Short film.
Yeah, audio movie.
Yeah, and so when you hear helicopters,
right,
sirens, and just the Foley, the sound design within the whole project,
right,
and you hear it bouncing, going through
panning, jumping,
and then now you got this Atmos sound. So if you go back and listen to them now, it feels like it's in the car with you, and you turn around looking because you hear sirens.
Right.
You about to wreck, so. Those are things I study now, like when listening to Compton, just
right,
how to make everything immersive,
right,
to where you're in it and it's not just a brick wall of sound.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think he started that on the EP 100 Miles and Running. It's where I could first document and say, okay, what is he doing with these? And it just wasn't a skit. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of cats had skits, okay, but it just wasn't a skit. You know what I mean? It was a lot more to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a lot more to it. So now that we know some of your influences, okay, how long does it normally take for you to produce a beat and a song from the beginning to the end?
That varies.
Okay.
That varies.
Now, does that vary on the artist?
That varies. Yeah, It has a lot to do with the artist. Mm-hmm. Has a lot to do with the writers.
Okay.
If there's writers outside of the artist, that has a lot to do with. That has a lot to do with me. It has a lot to do with the musicians I'm working with.
Okay.
Because now when I'm doing now I can come in here and throw a beat together real fast.
Right.
Maybe it may take me 30 minutes. It may take me an hour. It just depends on
what you're trying to reach for. Right?
What am I reaching for?
Right.
If it's something that I know, if I'm just going through the motions and just seeing what, I can do that fast.
Right.
But I tend to like to create from what's the story? I mean, what is it why are we doing this song?
Right. Right. What's the purpose?
Yeah, what's the purpose of
it?
Right. It's one thing to come in and just vibe and just go.
Right.
Which is that's mostly how it's done. But at some point in there, those are like the first sessions.
Right.
There's always a time when you come back to it and you be like, I was dope.
Right.
But that was stupid.
You said that was stupid.
Like, did you really say that?
Right.
And it's like, no, I'm not gonna let you put yourself out there like that, So
right. So do you do now, whether it's your artist that you're working with or a client, do you still have input, or do you feel like you should input, or how does it work with you?
So now I'm in a space to where I'm only working with, I'm really just working with people I want to work with.
Okay.
So, but even if like I'm just coming in and somebody say, hey man, can you record my project? Or even can you mix my project?
Right.
When I'm mixing, I'm kind of just mixing. Not unless I already have the relationship is there.
Right.
And they say, hey man, if you hear something, production wise,
right,
or if you feel like I can do something different or better, man, you got free reign to critique and let me know and give you input.
Right.
So the relationship has to be there for that.
Okay, got you.
But if somebody just want me to mix it, they send me what they want, I'll mix it. If I'm engineering, 9 times out of 10, whoever I'm working with, they want me to give critique.
Right.
And
it's kind of why they came to you, right? Because
exactly.
They know that that's what you offer,
yeah.
to make sure that the project can be the best that it can be, correct?
Exactly. They know I'm not gonna let them walk out the studio.
Right.
Even if I don't like it,
right,
I'm gonna make sure I at least get. I'm gonna make sure it's gonna be a great recording. I'm gonna make sure they're happy with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I may not care for it all the way,
right,
which is fine.
Right.
I'm sure there's plenty of songs you.
Oh my goodness.
Be like, all right, yeah. I mean, we got it done.
Right.
It sounds good. I don't really like it.
Right.
But
do you feel that every artist that you work with think that you should look at their project as a personal situation instead of going, hey, this is just kind of like my job? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
do I feel that every artist feels
that you work with? I mean, because I have clients that come in and be like, yo, well, what do you think about my? I'm like, dude, like, it's dope or it's cool, but I mean, that's the line we tightrope, right?
As producers. So, I'm not here. I'm not here to judge. Or,
right.
Blow your dreams up, to your face.
Right.
But I'm not here to yes man you either and do you a disservice.
Right.
And my taste is my taste.
Exactly.
And somebody else may love it.
Right.
But if you asking me for my taste,
right, then I'm gonna give it to you.
At this point, people know I'm asking. Hey,
I'm asking Cutta. Cutta gonna tell me what it is, man.
So, and I gotta do, like, I remember And then sometimes I'm just not in the mood for that shit that you're doing right now.
Right.
So it's like I said, it's a tightrope. I remember when Chop Balboa.
Right.
We
Shouts out to Chop.
We was working on a song, man. I was recording. I don't know if I did the beat or not, but I was recording it, and he was like, "What you think of the song?" I was like, "Man, that ain't it."
Right.
And he kind of looked at me. He was like, "Man, what you mean that ain't it?" I'm like, "Bro, I don't know about that one."
Right.
So we shelve it. A couple weeks later, we pull it up. I'm like, "Man, that's kind of good. That's kind of dope." Right. Like, "Man, you said you didn't like it." But
it happens.
It happens. It just, that's why, like, when you got a relationship with somebody,
right?
And I think the relationship and the chemistry is everything.
Oh my goodness!
Because if you just coming in with me, if you coming in and then you just want me to be your button pusher,
right?
I'd rather not work with you,
right?
But if I need to pay these bills,
right,
I may just be your button pusher,
right.
But you're probably gonna pay premium,
right,
for me just to be your button pusher.
Gotcha.
Because at that point, what am I contributing other than getting a recording? I mean, I can have somebody come in and record it,
Right.
At this point, like, everything I'm doing to take time away from the stuff that really means a lot to me, the projects that really mean a lot to me, my family.
Right.
To take time away for that, to come in here and you not really even respect the craft.
Right.
And you just doing it thinking you're going to make a couple dollars out of it. For me, if we have no chemistry, if there's no effort to even build it.
Right. You'd rather not?
I'd rather not.
Okay. Since you said chemistry, how long does it take for the chemistry? Now, this is a loaded question because we both know that could take any amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
It could be 3 weeks. It could be 6 months. Hell, it could be 2 years. But I don't think that artists know. Here's my favorite thing. You come with the paint, with the painting already painted, and you bring it to me and go, all right, now you can paint. And I'm like, well, what you want me to do?
Mm-hmm.
You've already painted all the colors and shit on this motherfucker, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just want me to frame it? No, I want you to paint. I want you to put your thing on it. How can I do that if it's already locked in and if it's already framed pretty much, right? So when you're talking about chemistry, what are some of the tell signs that you go, okay, you know what? I think we got something going here. Like, how do you know when you're going down that neighborhood of chemistry?
I don't know. I don't even know if I got words to even answer that question. I think you know when you know.
Right. Do you feel like, okay, the song comes together a lot easier, a lot quicker? The vibe is instantaneously. Like, it doesn't take, 3 and 4 songs to find that one song.
Well, I think it's in the process of recording the song.
Okay.
A lot of people would say, "Cause you don't give us no reaction. You don't change. You don't give us nothing. We don't never know if you like anything."
Cutta, I've seen videos. I'm not to cut you off. Cutta, I've seen videos of people posting shit, and the whole studio be going crazy. You be sitting right there, goes. I said, Cutta is not amused about anything. And I ain't talking about one video. I'm talking about there's dozens of videos of people who have came and recorded with you, posted that shit online, and then the whole studio is going crazy. You're right there on the corner or right there at your spot, and you just looking at your phone like, it ain't shit, man. How do people feel about that, man? They don't know how to take it or what?
I think if it's your first time in the studio with me, I think people they try to figure out what makes me tick.
Okay, trying to get a reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it's not about that, it's really if I'm really thinking, I'm really observing, I'm studying people. So a lot of times I may be like, yeah, this the shit inside, but I'm studying the reactions of people. I'm observing people.
So you're working while you're not working.
Exactly.
Okay.
So even if I may sit up here and do this, and I got a room full of people, I'm listening to every conversation. I'm looking at people's mannerisms. I'm looking at what makes people, I'm watching what's getting a reaction out of people.
Right.
And that's why I say it usually happens during the recording. If we're able to communicate easy,
right,
that's when I kind of know, okay, there's a chemistry building here.
Right.
We're not running into a dead wall. I've been in sessions to where the artists don't understand none of the lingo.
Right.
They don't know, and I can't even tell them what to do because they haven't even did it long enough to even understand what I'm saying to them.
Right.
Like if I say dub that.
Right.
Or stack that.
Right.
That's basic lingo.
Right. For recording.
Yeah. What do you mean? So, or spot dub, ad lib.
Right.
Basic lingo. Or if somebody comes in here, you get in them sessions and somebody, they just writing all their thoughts and they get in there and they trying to say everything that came to their mind.
Right.
Within one bar.
Right.
You're like, hey, bro.
That ain't gonna work, baby. Yeah.
And I'll tell people, I said, man, look, I'm not gonna sit here for 2-3 hours.
Right.
For you trying to figure out how to structure this song.
Right.
And how to get what you saying out.
Right.
I'm gonna say, nope, we're gonna stop. Instead of us wasting 2-3 hours.
Right.
You trying to figure out, and this, I get when you got, okay, let's rework a line. Let's,
right.
Take that word out. Don't say that.
Right.
Just say this. It comes out the same way, and you got room to breathe to
right.
set up your next line. That's different from somebody coming in and just they don't have the right studio etiquette.
Right.
I guess that's what that is.
Okay.
They don't even have the studio etiquette to even. If they ain't been around. They ain't even been in the process to even learn it. Now I could teach you, but if I know you on the clock,
right.
I know I got other things I need to be doing.
Right.
I'm not gonna invest that time with you and for you trying to figure it out, because for me, and this is just how I feel like you need to know your record. You need to know what you're doing when you come in here. Right. And if you coming in and freestyling, you better know what you're doing. Because I work with a lot of artists that just don't write.
Right.
And they damn good at it.
Yeah.
But they're writing.
Right.
They're not picking.
They're just not putting it on paper.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah. They feel like it's freestyling because it's coming off the dome, but it's actually formatted so they can keep repeating the same words and keep repeating the same thing. Nitro, he's very good at that shit.
Yeah.
So is Bucket. You know what I mean? Shout out to Nitro and Bucket. But those guys are really dope. When it comes to all of the artists that you've worked with, man, do you feel that right now, 2025, do you feel that you have really got your just due of credit for being one of the architect sounds, okay, of Oklahoma City? Okay, now I'm saying that Oklahoma City because we have Tulsa and we have Lawton. Okay, those are the main big cities, right? So I feel that every city has its own distinctive sound, somewhat. Now, I've worked with cats from Tulsa. I've worked with cats from Lawton as well. I'm sure you have too, because you just said 918. Do you feel like you've gotten your just due when it comes to credit of people going like this, the respect level is right where it needs to be, or do you think it could be a little bit more respect put on that name?
I think there'll always be more respect put on my name.
Okay.
I don't think I've gotten the credit for a lot of things
Right.
that's happened as far as music here
Right.
and just where we are now.
Okay.
I think the respect is there.
Right.
I think a lot of people respect because, you know, I put in the work, you know,
Yeah,
I put the time in. So you got, if you don't respect it, then, you know, it is what it is. Check it. So,
Right.
but I put the work in.
Right.
So, and I'm still doing that.
Right. And so you still relative today,
Mm-hmm.
and you've been in the game for almost 24 years.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel when that new producer come on the scene? They feel like they got motion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't been in it for 2 or 5 years. Do you sit back and go, well, we'll wait and see if you be around 10 or 15 more years from now? Is that your take on it?
I mean, yeah, it's just
because everybody gets that chance to be the new kid on the block. And then in a couple of years, there's a new crop or a new producer that comes along,
Exactly.
or just like the studio,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You know, because times change, right?
Right.
And then you settle in and go, wait a minute, you know what? I have a few streams of income that just doesn't rely on this music shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of pull back a little bit, and then these other cats is like, yeah, I'm the shit, can't nobody fuck with me.
yeah. I mean,
Well, you're supposed to think that.
I don't be mad at it because
Right.
I know how I was.
Right.
I said, but
Right.
this business humble you.
Yes. So would you say that is a youth thing?
No. Mm-mm.
You wouldn't say that?
I mean,
I remember when I was up in New
it's-
York, I was 25, dog, and I was, I was like, nigga, we was all rambunctious, man. It was 13 producers in the fucking 2-bedroom apartment, man.
Yeah.
And so it was like the fucking Super Friends, the Justice League, man. Like Hamza was the I Adore Me More. Then you had Key Tech, you know what I mean? You had, my nigga Curtis, he had the publish deal with Zomba. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a bunch of shit, dog. And so you had to talk that shit, right? But when it comes to showing, can't forget about Leonardo. I mean, goddamn.
Man.
Come on, man. Like, these cats was vicious. Hell, Felicia, God rest her dead, rest in peace. But Felicia was dope as well. Riding with Dave Hall. You know what I mean? So, I mean, when I was younger, I'm a check it up to the youth shit, because when I was younger, I was so like, you can't fuck with me, yada, 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 right? But as I got older, and I started maturing, and I was like, nah, it ain't about that. You're supposed to let the music talk.
Yeah. So it is a youth thing.
Okay.
But some people never grow up.
That's true.
Some people never grow up.
That's true.
And some people they continue to miss the mark. But when I see young producers, I'll be like, okay, yeah, it's always okay. Especially if they got some talent,
right?
They got some skills, But now, it's so. I try to look deeper than that.
Right.
Who's really hungry?
Right. Who's showing up consistently?
Who's showing up consistently? Who's hungry? Who's growing?
Right.
Who's constantly sending tracks? Hey, check this out.
Right.
Tell me what you think I need to do about that. Even though that shit get on my nerves sometimes.
Right.
But I don't mind it because I know it's helping them.
Right.
And if somebody did it to me, I gotta pay it. I gotta pay it back.
Right.
I gotta pay it for it. So
right.
It's like, and then now it's so easy. I mean, hell, I use it. I go get Splice, sample that, replay it. You know,
right.
It's so easy now. Now you got they tell AI what to do, and it'll put the beat. So now it's like, okay, you a producer, beat maker, whatever. What do you do? Like, what's the story? What's the story? What we doing with this?
Right.
And now it's either, okay, I need to get some placements. I need to do this.
Right.
You know, can you just listen to it? And so now I'm listening. Like, I listen to things from a different perspective. I'm kind of leaning. I learn from them now.
Okay. Right. But it keeps you youthful.
Yeah, I learn from them, and so exactly, it keeps me youthful. But I get to hear like, what do y'all like?
Right.
Like I remember, I was taking somebody home the other day, and you know, I asked them because somebody asked me, why do you think the youth go crazy over NBA Youngboy? And I was like, man, I can't answer that. I can't answer it because I like some of his songs, but for me, I'm not gonna play NBA Youngboy like I play some of my favorites. That's just my taste.
Right.
But I respect it. I respect it.
There
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I like some of his songs. But I was like, I don't know why he has this generation in a chokehold.
Right.
I don't know. Then I asked somebody that was 18 years old. I said, why do you like NBA Youngboy? They say, NBA Youngboy is like our Tupac.
There you go. Yeah.
I said, damn, I ain't heard that one.
Yeah.
He said, he the only one that can control the YNs.
See?
They said, no matter what he said, why you think didn't nothing happen downtown when he came to the Paycom Center a couple weeks ago? He said, because he said if anything happened, he getting off the stage.
They stayed in check.
So, you gotta respect that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I'm listening. I'm okay. Producer was in here last night playing beats.
Right.
Super dope. Yeah, I heard some things I've heard before, you know, but I'm listening. I'm reading everybody. I'm reading the room.
Right.
What are people reacting to?
Right.
Because it's always things that you can learn from the youth, the new beat makers, because they got a different way of doing things.
Exactly.
And, you know, even like Tech was telling me, he's like, man, I ain't never think to. I remember doing a beat. Tech was like, man, what made you do that? How'd you do that? I don't know. I'm just creating.
Right. You're gonna process it different than someone who's been doing it for a minute. You know, and I think it has to be like a hybrid of that knowledge from the older cat, and then that youthfulness and that energy from the younger cat. It's a combination. So you stayed with it, right? And you kept going, and now you're one of the older cats now. You know what I mean? You know, you're not old at all. You look young as hell. You know, but you still have that same energy. You still have that knowledge to go with that. And so I think a lot of times when young producers come up, they don't have the knowledge to go with it. You know how to create the beat, but you don't know how to make the money with that. You know what I mean? Like, then when you start looking up and it's 5, 10, 15 years and you go, wait a minute, I ain't made no bread. Like, I don't have no 401k plan. You know what I mean? I have not got no placements or no TV shows, no movies, no nothing. You know, and you like, wow, did I just waste my time or what? I mean, I think that's a big question.
It's perspective.
Yeah.
What I tell artists and producers now, define what success is for you now. Just define it for yourself.
Right.
Everybody want money.
Right.
So take that away.
Right.
You got all the money. Say if you got all the money. define what does success look like for you.
Right.
And why you doing this.
Right.
That's usually that's kind of where I'm at with even choosing who I want to work with right now.
Okay.
Because define, is it you want fame?
Right.
Okay. You want money? Okay. You want houses? You want cars? You want recognition? Or are you of the craft? Do you want respect?
Right.
Define it. I mean, do you want to change the world through music? Do you want to be able to help somebody? Do you want to develop the youth? Do you want to use this? Do you want to use your gifts as a platform to give the youth another alternative from out here running these streets that get crashing out?
Right.
So that's why that's kind of where I'm at, is define what success means for you early. That way, if you do stick with it and you 10, 20 years in, you don't have to say, damn, but did I waste my time?
Right. Right. You had a game plan.
You got a game plan. You know why you're doing it.
Right.
And that'll help. I mean, that'll save a lot of heartache. That gives you perspective.
Right.
And it helps you with your expectations.
Right.
Because I always say, dream big. Dream big. Go after it. But expect this business to give you nothing.
Right.
Expect it to give you nothing.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, it don't owe you.
Right.
It don't owe you nothing. So you get exactly what you put in.
Do you think that you have gotten what you've been putting in?
I think I feel like this. I've put in way more than what I've gotten.
Okay.
And I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Right.
And I'm gonna continue to do it.
Right. You just consider those paying dues?
I consider that walking in purpose.
Okay.
Dues come with it. You got to pay the tab.
Right.
You got to pay
That's the cost of doing business.
That's the cost of doing business.
Cost of doing business. Let's get on to what is some of your favorite? What is your gear that you use when you're creating these monster tracks? We was at the Takeoff show, Me Against Me, Calfo show, and man, your tracks came on, man. It was beating. It was sounding dope as fuck, man. Everybody was going crazy, man. What is your favorite DAW, or do you have a favorite DAW that you use?
So, my favorite DAW right now, like I say right now, is for production, Ableton.
Okay. Wow.
For recording and mixing, it's Pro Tools.
Right on.
That'll probably never change.
Yeah. Is that because of Hams and them and all of those guys?
Well, see, it's crazy. So,
shout out to Hamza.
that's where I'm going. So, Key Tech is an understudy of Hamza.
Exactly.
So, Hamza has always been doing Logic forever.
Okay. Wow.
Key Tech learned Digital Performer.
That was like doing like Kerwin and all of them. Those cats was using Digital Performer too. Yeah.
So that's how I learned on Digital Performer, which Digital Performer set me up for Pro Tools.
Exactly.
Once it was, to me, when I got on Pro Tools, I was like, oh, this is simple. This is way more simpler than Digital Performer.
Right.
But, I used to rewire Reasons through Pro Tools. I was an MPC, XL. Then digital performer.
Okay.
Then I ended up going into when Logic came, when Hamza moved back to Oklahoma City, he introduced me to Logic.
Okay.
And so that became my choice of weapon for production for a good 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And DJ Hez put me on Ableton.
Shouts out to Hezekiah.
DJ Hezekiah, he put me on Ableton, and I was like, now I understand what all the fuss this is about. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Is it that dope, man? I've never used Ableton ever.
Man, so to me, it's like Logic in reverse.
Oh, wow.
And there's something to me. Every DAW to me has its sound.
Okay, exactly. It has its own engine.
It has its engine, has its sound. So I like the engine of Ableton.
Okay.
It's something it's something about how it comes out the speakers for me that I like.
Right.
Now, I'm very surgical with Logic. So don't get it twisted. I can go back and forth with Logic and Ableton, but right now for the past 3-4 years I've been strong on Ableton.
Wow. That's dope. That's dope.
But at the end of the day, it all goes into Pro Tools.
Okay.
Everything goes back into Pro Tools. And
So well, let me get this straight now. You're saying that you dump Ableton into Pro Tools and then you mix from there?
Mm-hmm.
You don't mix in Ableton?
I do a little bit of mixing in Ableton.
Oh, okay.
And now they got it to where you can link the Ableton with the Pro Tools.
Oh, just like Reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, but I like changing my workflows.
Okay.
So, like, if I'm doing like some Foley or some scoring or something like that, I may go back into Logic.
Okay.
Just because I know that workflow, and it allows me to kind of score and do Foley stuff. You know, if I'm just doing like music beddings or soundscape and some stuff, I like working in Logic like that. But when it just comes to production and songwriting, I'm in Ableton, and then I'm exporting everything either out of Logic or Ableton, and importing everything into Pro Tools, and that's where all the post-production, anything extra, I'd rather record. Sometimes I record my musicians in Ableton or Logic, but I like recording everything into Pro Tools.
Yeah.
It's just something about it that I just feel like I know it's right.
Right. The sound is incredible. So. When you do that way. You have placements? Huh?
It's some good ass questions.
Hey man, because it's coming from another producer. You dig what I'm saying? So I want to get in. I'm trying to tap into what I need to, because I don't have nothing written down. You know what I mean? And every interview, there's different questions. I've not asked none of these questions to these cats. Okay, so because a lot of people hear about you, Cutta. They might even see you, but they never really even hear you speak and talk. And, what are your thoughts about, production, about artistry, about, rapping, about freestyle? And so I think this is really dope that you give an insight, you know what I mean? The man is speaking himself. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. Is speaking himself. And I think that it's really, really dope, man. What I was going to ask you is...
You said something about placements.
Yeah. Have you gotten any placements, or do you have any placements that you could tell us about that you was able to do?
Yeah, I mean, gotten placements with a lot of artists. Your Boosie, your Ray J's, your T-Rails, your co-production with Kanye, your K. Michelle's.
Wow.
I mean,
heavy hitters, baby.
Cap, it's so many. I do so much music. Sometimes I don't even remember. It's hard for me just to name them off the top of my head.
Right.
Like,
but then you'll remember later on.
I'll remember. I gotta go look at the list.
Right.
A bio that needs updating. Like, dang,
right.
I work with all. I forgot about that.
That's dope, man.
So, but yeah, I mean, those placements, and then now being able to, I'm at the point to where I'm not chasing placements.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't like chasing placements.
Right.
I'd rather.
Too much politics.
I mean, I get it. It's just you gotta think that shit's exhausting.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
That shit is exhausting.
Oh, it is.
And it's got to pass. It's got to pass through so many different people's hands.
Right.
Again, I'd rather a placement for me is what relationship that I build.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if I meet, like even for instance, for good example, Coalition DJs anniversary 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Four, maybe 5 years ago in Atlanta. Down there with my guy, DJ 3, Tegas, and DJ Showtime out of Chicago.
Okay.
And we had, I think the club was called Believe. So upstairs, club or performance area, underneath in the basement is nothing but press and media. So they walking me through and they introducing me to all these press outlets in Atlanta. The super producer Cutta Classic. So now I did like 15, 20 interviews in a matter of an hour and a half. A couple weeks before that, rewind, I meet Gorilla Zoe's manager.
Okay.
No, it was that weekend. I meet his manager, and we chopping. He was like, "Yeah, they've been three been telling me about you. That I want to get Zoe some beats or whatever." So a couple days later, I end up meeting Zoe. Zoe walks into the hotel, introduce me to him. Zoe kind of like, "Oh, what's up, man?" Just the cordial. What's up? What's good?
Right.
I had no idea he hadn't been doing music. At that point, I knew of Gorilla Zoe.
Right.
I liked some of his music.
Right.
I wasn't following Zoe
right.
like that up until that point. And so, fast forward, met him then. A couple weeks later, I came back home and they just send a track. So I sent, I sent probably like a 10, 15 pack of beats. And a couple days later, Zoe FaceTimed me. He was like, "Hey, I'm flying out to you tomorrow."
Wow.
I ain't been inspired to make no music until I heard what you sent.
Oh, that's dope.
That's how I like working.
That's dope.
And that's how it's been happening with people I've been working with.
Right. That
it's been one of those situations to where we meet. There's a vibe. It may just be cordial at first.
Right.
I build a relationship with somebody in your circle.
Right.
They find out, wait a minute, dude doing all this. Hey man, let's go see him.
Right.
So now I got you in. So now we just chopping it.
Right.
Now we talking, what you working on? What's this? What's that? This what I'm going through.
Right.
We may not do nothing.
Right.
We may just be sitting back talking. I may play some stuff and they be like, okay. But we may just sit back and talk and just get a vibe for each other.
Right.
Because now you really want, if you're going to build with somebody, you want to make sure everybody around you is solid.
That's real.
So that's how that started. And here we are 4 years later. And I've been an integral part in helping him redevelop his sound.
Nice.
So
that's where the chasing stops.
Yeah, you don't want to chase.
Because it comes to you.
It comes to you. And you're just doing it for like it's about the art, you know.
Right.
Yeah, the business gonna get handled.
Right.
Because everybody want their piece of the pie.
Right.
But what's understood don't need to be explained. You know,
right,
we know that's gotta happen.
Right.
But if we can just come in and just vibe and then become friends or become brothers to a certain extent. Now, every artist ain't gonna be like that.
This is true.
Every artist ain't gonna be like that.
Right. But you had them ones.
You got them ones. So, and even the ones that's not like that, there's still a lasting impression. Like, for me is, can I make you comfortable in my space? If you can get comfortable in my space and I'm comfortable working with you, and I don't feel like you just some old buster ass nigga, you know.
Right.
So that's how I like to work, man. You know, and like I say, I'm not for everybody.
Right.
Not supposed to be.
Right.
That's why I say I work and I move in my purpose, because I know what I'm doing with my art and my craft and my gifts is for a greater purpose, and who I'm connected with is who I'm supposed to be connected with.
Right. What's for you is for you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like that. What would be your last words if you had to tell that up and coming producer, as well as that producer who's still been in it and who's still in it for the 10 and 5, 15 years? What would be your parting words if you say, okay, this would be my last message that I could say to that up and coming producer? What words of encouragement would you have to give him?
I think that would be it. Walk in your purpose.
Okay.
Know your purpose.
Right.
Because this could all be gone.
Right.
You know, the grid shut down. Ain't no electricity.
Right. What you gonna do?
Better get you an acoustic. Better get you an acoustic. Better get you a bongo.
You better get you an acoustic.
You know, so it's
oh shit.
I mean, walk in your purpose.
Right.
These are all gifts.
Right. And everybody has gifts.
Yeah, these are all gifts.
Right.
And you walk in your purpose, man.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest thing, you know.
It's the takeaway right there.
Walk in your purpose. Everybody's path and journey is different.
Right.
And you know, you always keep your relationship solid.
There you go.
Keep your relationship solid. Walk in your purpose.
Nice. Now, if anybody wants to contact you or get in touch, now we know you only work with certain people that you want to work with. How can they get a hold to you, Cutta?
At Cutta Classic. Just hit me up in the DMs. Come correct. I'm going to show you love.
There it is from the man himself. Now, we're not done because I'm gonna get out your hair in just a minute, big dog.
I ain't in no rush.
Okay. We would like for you to show us your beat process, okay? Now, I mean, you could, some cats want to show out and they want to create in front of us. That's cool. You know, some cats go, hey, well, let me just walk you through one of my tracks and then my process like that. So it's on you, however you want to do it. You know what I mean? You know, just, make it easy on yourself, however you want to do it. And after that, it's a wrap, big dog.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Cool.
How do I want to do it?
How many hours a day would you say What's a normal hour day for you working in the studio? If we're talking producing.
It's very rarely I'm not in here.
Right.
8 to 10 hours.
Okay, that's a normal day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 to 10 hours, if not longer.
Right. Some days are longer, but the average is around 8 to 10.
And then there's days where I don't come in. I just want to work from home.
Right. You don't want to be bothered. You don't want to move.
Yeah.
Do it on your laptop. Come here and then dump. Right. Nice. Let me ask you this. Now, did it hit you like that after the pandemic like it did me? Because now I was always in the studio 24/7. I mean, gunning. After during the pandemic, it's when I really realized that, hey, I need to step back from this shit. I'm like, yo, I understand being consumed with music, but this shit is just a little bit too ridiculous. Niggas is hitting me like I got a laptop connected to my dick. Like, hey, can you send me those files? I'm like, nigga, no.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, did it hit you like that?
No.
He
Because
said no.
during the pandemic, we were one of the only major studios in the U.S. that stayed open.
See.
And we did a lot of post-production for a lot of films and TV.
Ooh.
So
you guys got it. Y'all got the bag.
Why a lot of these facilities, their cities were shut down. Oklahoma wasn't a full lockdown city.
This is true.
So we were deemed essential.
Mm.
So Disney, Marvel, Fox, Hulu. I mean, we had so many things coming through here at one time.
Right. So you have TV and movie placements as well?
So I don't have placements.
Okay.
But we were working on projects, Foley and sound design for a lot of these. So we were doing recordings for voiceovers.
Ah, got you.
And stuff like that. We did a lot of stuff for like King of the Hill and stuff like that.
Okay.
Some stuff.
That's why you keep saying Foley.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
So, yeah, we didn't shut down. Like the pandemic, it didn't hit me hard.
Right.
Like it hit a lot of other places because I never stopped.
Yeah, I didn't stop either.
I never stopped.
Right.
So we worked through it, masked up, and we got down to there, man. We wasn't in it. I guess that was a blessing because a lot of that, and I think it was a blessing, but I think I also missed like a lot of the at home learning how to do a lot of stuff online,
right?
For content creation,
right.
I wasn't creating a lot of content,
right,
during that time
because you was consumed with work, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
but which is I still should have been creating content,
right,
doing that, but.
Now, what we got pulled up right here, Cutta? This is Ableton right here?
This is Ableton.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to decide what I really want to do.